Welcome to the Camp Heritage Parent Orientation. I wanted to take a moment and introduce you to the leadership staff that you'll see around campus this summer. I myself am Andrea Broadhurst. I've been with Camp Heritage since 2013 and have been a director of summer camps for years prior to that. So it's always been a great joy for me to be part of the Camp Heritage team. We also have Carrie Gorecki, who is our assistant director, and she is a music teacher with Baltimore County, and she's been with the camp for over 10 years. We have Dylan Valente, who you'll also meet later in the presentation. He is the other assistant director who is in charge of volunteers and the counselor and training program. So if you have any students who are volunteers or are counselors in training, you will be dealing with him and meeting him or later in the presentation. And our camp nurse, who is on call for us the entire camp season, Leslie McLaughlin, who works for Union Memorial and has been with them for almost 20 years now.
We have two types of programs at Camp Heritage, our teacher-led programs and our counselor-led programs. The teacher-led programs include performing and creating, arts and crafts, discovery, nature, and swim. The counselor-led programs are table games and sports. You'll hear a little bit more of those later on in the slideshow.
All right, when you arrive to Camp Heritage, we are located at CCBC. You are going to drive onto campus. Campus is a circular loop. You are looking for parking lot 5. In parking lot 5, you will find the Jack Manley Wellness and Athletic Center, and that is where we are located. So when you pull in, you will see that there is a ramp that is open and opens to huge doors, and that's where we will be. So you're going to walk up the ramp with your camper, and you're going to see that there's a sign-in table available for parents, and there are cones that have each of the grade levels labeled. So your camper might just run to their counselor and meet their counselor, and you will go to the parent table and you will sign in. Clipboards are there, it's all paper. You will sign in and let us know any pertinent information that day. There will be an opportunity for you to let us know if your camper has to leave early that day, or if you have information you need to share with us, that's the time to let us know. If you are coming for before care, those doors open at 7 a.m. If you are coming for a traditional hours, starting at 9, arriving a little before 9 is perfect. We wait until about 9:05, then we call the campers together and we do our morning announcements. We might do birthdays, we do campers of the week, all of that kind of stuff. We tell them any information they need, any upcoming information for the day that they need. If your camper arrives to camp late, you have an appointment or sports practice, and you are not arriving until after 9:30, you will not bring your camper into the main gym. Instead, you will still go to parking lot 5, and there is a series of brown doors that are on ground level. And you will walk in through those doors and straight down the hallway, and our camp office is located down there on the left. It is labeled. Chances are you're going to run into a staff before you ever get to the camp office. And when you get there, you will have the opportunity to sign your child in on the clipboards, and then a camp volunteer will take your child to wherever their schedule is supposed to take them for that point in time. Campers at Camp Heritage will swim every single day. Swim blocks will start at 12:30, 1:30, and 2:30, and they will last for approximately an hour. They will have an opportunity to change in the locker room, and then they will meet their groups on the pool deck. They will meet their counselors on the pool deck, where they will also be met by our water safety instructor, Mary, and our lifeguards. From there, our pool, which is a large in-ground pool, it is an indoor pool, is split into quadrants. There is a swim test. So every week the campers have an opportunity to take the swim test, and that is a record that is kept. So during the beginning of their swim period, they'll get their rubber bracelet passed out to them if they have passed the swim test. And then if they have not, then they will stay in the shallower end of the pool. The campers are in the water, the counselors are in the water, and there are lifeguards. The counselors in training are also there to assist, and we have volunteers that are also in the water to assist with them. So we have never had issues with our pool, and I know that swimming can sometimes be a very intimidating situation, particularly for our younger campers. And it takes them generally about a week to warm up, and then they start to realize that they are safe and that they're going to have an opportunity to really enjoy themselves in the pool, and they will stay safe. Once or twice a week, we offer sort of an amended swim lesson. It just gives them the basics of some strokes, of blowing bubbles in the water, of floating, things like that, so that they just gain some basic skills. They're not swim lessons that you would take if you were registered somewhere else. However, they are some basic skills that will be helpful for them in the water. We highly encourage, so every day they need a swimsuit, every day they need a towel, and we highly encourage goggles. And so you can put their names on all of this stuff, and they will bring it with them and change in the locker room. Our water instructor this year is fine if they have the floaties that connect their arms and then create a tube around their waist for some of the younger campers who might feel a little more secure. So you can always follow up and ask if what you're thinking is appropriate to bring to camp. And so they have a great time. Every day they swim, and they absolutely love it. They will not be able to swim if there are thunderstorms occurring, or if unfortunately someone gets sick in the pool. However, that is not an often occurrence, but it's something that does sometimes happen.
Hi, I'm Marta Bittinger. I've been an art teacher in Baltimore County for 21 years, and I think this might be my 13th, 14th year at Camp Heritage. I love coming up with engaging art projects, doing things that the kids already know about. I have an Encounter Week planned, so I can't wait for the 4 weeks that I'm there.
Hello, my name is Ashley Miller, and I am the Performing and Creating Teacher at Camp Heritage for Session 2. I have taught in Baltimore County as a music teacher for 19 years, and this will be my 15th year at Camp Heritage teaching performing and creating. I'm super excited to be back this summer. We will be working on preparing for our camp show, which is on August 11th. The students will be learning, rehearsing, and refining their performance for the show, as well as learning different techniques in drama and performance education. I'm really excited and can't wait to see everyone this summer. Bye!
Hi everyone, my name is Miss Ashley and I'll be the Discovery teacher at camp this summer. During the school year, I'm a first grade teacher for Baltimore County, but I always look forward to coming back to camp each summer. This will be my 9th year with the camp. My first 3 years I was a camp counselor, and the last 6 years I've been a Discovery teacher. Over the years, I noticed that the campers really enjoy having a different theme each week in Discovery, so we're going to be sticking with that. A couple of themes that I have for this summer are outer space, camping, and sports week. During those weeks, we will be doing science experiments, group projects, small art projects, and games to go along with each theme. I am super excited to be coming back this summer, and I can't wait to see everyone.
Hi everybody, I'm going to be teaching nature this year at Camp Heritage, and I'm so excited to explore the trails and go on hikes with all of the kids. I am a special education teacher in the Baltimore County Public School System. I have been at camp since I was in kindergarten. I was a counselor for 6 years, an intern director for 3 years, and now I am very happy to be teaching nature. We are going to be exploring the creek and all of the different trails around CCBC. We're going to be walking to the tire park, talking about different types of weather, different types of animals, and just learning about nature. And I cannot wait to explore with all of the kids and have an amazing summer. Can't wait.
There are 3 counselor-led activities at Camp Heritage: sports, games, and reading. In sports, counselors will lead either group games or small group games for campers to enjoy physical activity. In table games, we have a classroom that's filled with board games and cards and blocks and all kinds of fun activities to let the campers just be creative and have a little bit of fun. And then we also have a reading block throughout the day. Counselors can, at any point in the day, have deer time, which means drop everything and read. And this is done around the lunch hour, and kids just get to have 20 minutes where the counselors either read a story to the campers or the campers can read on their own.
I wanted to share with you a little bit about our camp staff. So aside from the leadership that you will see around campus, you will also see a number of high school and college students who are wearing the Camp Heritage t-shirts with their names on them and the camp staff on the back of the shirt. Those are all of our camp staff, and many of them have been campers at Camp Heritage, many of them since kindergarten. All of our employees are federally and state background checked, along with an additional background check through Child Protective Services. We also conduct an 8-hour training that is mandatory for all staff the first weekend in June. So they've all completed that as well. Our teachers, who will also be wearing Camp Heritage t-shirts, you may not see them as much in the main gym. They are located in their classrooms throughout campus, are all certified teachers. They are all working either for Howard County Public School or Baltimore County Schools, and are all certified teachers. And Leslie McLaughlin, as I said, our on-demand nurse, is also a current registered nurse. So all of our staff are current and up to date on the latest trainings, and are absolutely willing and committed to make their camp season for 2022 a success. When the camp day ends, the campers will be with their counselors at their cones back in the main gym where you dropped them off. They will be there beginning at 3:45, and parents come in, and just like you signed them in, you're going to sign them out. We ask that you sign them out. You let us know who you're picking up. As we get to know you, we'll recognize you as you're walking in, but until we get to know you, we need to have photo ID. So just be prepared to show us your license really quick when you get in to grab your camper. We will radio for your camper. They'll come up to you and we'll dismiss from there. If you are signed up for Aftercare, that begins at 4 o'clock. The children who stay for Aftercare are given the choice. There are 2 movies playing. They can play sports in the gym, or they can do like a Legos coloring kind of combination as well. In Aftercare, we do serve a snack, just a little small one. And so Aftercare ends at 5:45. So please be sure that you have someone available to pick your camper up by 5:45, as we will have to apply late fees for anyone who's late picking up. Please remember that the road directly in front of the Jack Manley Wellness and Athletic Center is a one-way street. And it is unfortunately very tempting to come the wrong way, but make sure that you are going the correct way. Also, when you're parking in the parking lot, make sure that you are parking in the white lines and not in the red lines, as those are reserved for staff and the college employees. Lunches are eaten every day in our student services building. We have our own reserved space. It is an air-conditioned space, and all lunches are refrigerated. We do ask that you pack your camper's lunch, that their lunchbox is labeled with their name, and I highly recommend that if you are packing sandwiches and chips and things like that, that you put it in hard-sided containers. All of the lunch boxes and lunch bags are put together into one large bag for their group and then put into the refrigerator. So if you have just a Ziploc bagged peanut butter and jelly sandwich and it ends up at the bottom of that pile, it's going to end up smushed. We highly recommend for our younger campers that they bring a snack, but that snack is packed in their backpack. Backpacks stay in the gym under a designated space for their group. And so if you have a kindergarten, first or second grader, it might be really helpful to pack them a snack in their book bag that they can grab mid-morning so they aren't starving by the time they get to lunch. If a camper forgets a lunch, we will notify you and let you know, and we can either handle it for you or you can run their lunch over to us. But never fear, they're not going to go hungry. We're not going to let them starve to death. And twice a summer, we have what we call fun days, and we serve lunch, and we'll let you know what days those are. So every day, packed lunch in hard-sided containers. Everything will be refrigerated, and snacks get packed in their backpacks. All right, medication. If your camper will be taking medication at camp, so this only pertains to medication that they need to have administered to them while they are at camp, you will see on the camp doc that it asks you about that, and it asks you to fill out the forms. So unfortunately, we cannot accept medication forms that come from the school. It must be the form that is provided to you through camp docs. It must be signed by you, and it must be signed by the physician. All medications must come in the original container that has a prescription on it, including EpiPens and inhalers. If you are bringing over-the-counter medication for your camper, that also must have a physician's signature, and the first dose needs to be taken at home. Campers can only carry their own medications if that section of the medication at camp form has been completed by the physician. So a lot of our older campers will carry their medication. Otherwise, their medication is stored with us overnight and each day given to their camp counselors in a medication bag that is carried with them. So if your child has an EpiPen or has an asthma inhaler and an emergency medication that needs to be with them, it is with them at all times. We cannot, unfortunately, just due to the volume of campers, we cannot accept medication on the first day. So at the end of this, you will see that there are medication drop-off nights, and that is when you will see either myself or Leslie McLaughlin, and we will be there. We will take your medication, we'll check it off, and give you a receipt. At the end of camp, so whether your camper is at the end of first session, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, when you are preparing to leave camp, you will have a little form for you to sign that just says what the medication was and who is picking it up, and we keep that for our state records, and you take the medication home with you. And we always try to make sure that that gets taken care of on your camper's last day.
So just a few words about what you should pack each day. I came prepared with some visuals. So your camper should come each day with their backpack, with their swimsuit and towel, with their socks and sneakers, of course. You might even want to pack an extra pair of socks in case they would get wet in the stream or something like that. It's always a good idea to have a hat. Here's mine. Some sunscreen. The spray type is recommended. A refillable water bottle, very important. They will need to have a lunch, a packed and ready to eat lunch. We don't have access to microwaves, so it has to be ready to eat and preferably in a hard-sided container with the camper's name on it. Of course, they should come prepared with a book to read, preferably in a large gallon-sized Ziploc bag in case it would get wet, and insect repellent, which can be sprayed directly on the clothing. Thank you.
At the end of each 4-week session, Camp Heritage will host a fun day. This activity is a bit different than the normal day. Campers will get to enjoy a bought lunch. We will have pizza and snowballs and things of that nature. We'll have snacks and special activities, toys in the pool, water games, lots of special little things to make the day a little bit special and different. Look more for that information in our newsletters and in our parent packet.
So one of the things that makes camp a little extra fun are the special things that we do. As I mentioned in an earlier video, one of those things is what we call Fun Day. It is the last Friday of session 1 and it is the last Friday of session 2, which is also our last day of camp. On those days, we do ask for parents to supply about $8 per camper, and it covers pizza and drinks and snacks throughout the day. We do water slides. We bring in big inflatable water slides. We bring in snowball machines. We have all kinds of different stuff. Sometimes we bring in a magician for the day, just something very different. They still swim. We just add a lot of extra things to their day. So it's not a traditional camp day. They're not going to classes necessarily. They're doing just different fun things throughout the day. We will have a field trip in session 1 where we leave campus, and then a field trip in session 2 where we leave campus. Those are still being verified, and so that information will be in the parent packet later in May. We also bring in special guests, and we utilize some of the facilities at CCBC. So one of those things is the planetarium. We often take our campers to the planetarium to enjoy one of the talks and the shows that the planetarium does. Sometimes we bring in representatives from the state park, and they bring in some of the animals that they have in their aviaries, and they talk to the campers about taking care of them, the responsibility that goes along with the animals. One really neat thing that we have at our disposal is that the college campus backs right into Patapsco State Park, and in doing so, we are a short walk to the Hilton Tire Park. So we will be taking your campers at least once, and it'll, again, in the parent packet, give you a schedule. At least once we take them to the Hilton Tire Park where they get to enjoy the playground, they get to run around, they go to the nature center. They just have a really great time over there. Sometimes they stay and picnic and have lunch, sometimes they come back. Just kind of depends on their schedule. But it is something we find that they absolutely love to do.
Part of our Camp Heritage program is for our 6th and 7th graders who are CITs or counselors in training. And their role with us is to work with groups of children and with counselors to study important aspects of becoming a counselor and to prepare to join our staff one day. They will be spending most of their day with the groups of children, but they'll also have CIT classes several times a week with Mr. Dillon. And then another part of our program is our volunteer program, 8th and 9th graders. Those finishing 8th and 9th grade who will be working more closely with counselors and teachers, also preparing to be future members of our staff.
I know that you've received a lot of information in this presentation. If you find yourself having any questions or concerns and you want to talk to someone, please feel free to reach out to Terry Booth, and her information is on this slide. You can also reach me directly at the email there, which is campheritageccbc@gmail.com. Please feel free to reach out. Please come and ask any questions, share any concerns you may have. I was once a first-time camp parent, believe it or not, and I was actually banned. My good friend was running my daughter's summer camp, and I called so often she actually said, "I'm no longer answering your phone calls." So I understand what it's like to be a nervous mom who wants to know what's going on, or a nervous parent. So please feel free to give me a call, give me an email, and let me know if I can answer any comments or concerns, because we want you to feel comfortable and at ease and fully informed having your camper come to CCBC this year. So we are very excited to be back for 2022 and really looking forward to seeing everyone this summer.